could be worse, man. You could be Gucci.
Free Pooh Shiesty. Damn.
You already know.
I feel like he ratting on the record.
Gucci Man was the original grave digger. You know what I'm saying? Go bury, pick up your dead mans. You know what I'm saying?
On Pookie Loc and all that.
We just watched that. We just watched that at the Verses, and now you hear the song, you know, talking about allegedly what Pooh Shiesty did to him.
It's over for the trap. They all rats. Whole city telling. Shout out Pee Wee Long Way. Real solid one. R.I.P. Street. Gucci Mane, goddamn, you made history. Snitched on a song, he the first. Are you kidding me? Put Pooh Shiesty in the trap. I mean literally. If that's how you do a friend, God bless your enemies. I wouldn't wanna be an enemy. Real trap nigga went out like a joke. Where's that energy that you have for Pookie Loc? YN's got him scared, he don't want smoke. Made you sign papers with a pistol to your throat. Go get that link up, bring Gucci back, Gucci dead. Put him in a Gucci body bag. Wop told cops, damn Gucci went out bad. Called him Mr. Softy, he the ice cream man. Gucci Mane, goddamn, you made history. Snitched on the song, he the first. Are you kidding me? Put Pooh Shiesty in a trap. I mean literally. If that's how you do a friend, God bless your enemies. I wouldn't wanna be an enemy. Thugger told, tiptoe, gunner told on big bro. Savage said, fuck the streets, couldn't keep his lips closed. Woody told that he told, goddamn that bitch bold. Rollo name on paperwork, too many shit cold. Telling ain't nothing new, but when do it get old? Every city following the snitch code. Gangsta shit dead, hurry up and get rich, bro. Leave the streets alone, cause it's a shit show. Gucci Mane, goddamn, you made history. Snitched on the song, he first. Are you kidding me? Put Pooh Shiesty in a trap. I mean literally. If that's how you do a friend, God bless your enemies. I wouldn't wanna be an enemy. It's the unit, loose lips sink ships. Not the unit, we on cosign snitching. Nigga, that ain't it. It's the unit, and we ain't got no love for a snitch. It's G-Unit. And we ain't giving no tips.
You know, I just really don't like this nigga throwing my name and all this shit to sell records. That's a whole move. Any nigga from any hood know if you get in any type of trouble and a nigga throw your name in that shit, he's a snitch ass nigga.
Do you have any, like, you know, indications on who it might be? Have you heard anything on the streets? Just whatever you feel in your own heart?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, ain't too many people got the motive to do some shit like that. I just like a detective, learn, you know what I'm saying, look at the motive, who has motive to do it. And this fuck nigga, the only nigga has motive.
Jeez.
Yeah. Okay. Straight up.
On some real shit, I gotta keep it so 100. I ain't never like you, cuz. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never like your bitch. I ain't never liked you, cuz. You know I ain't like you. In the street, like, we ain't gonna talk about that on here, though.
Is there anybody 50 Cent fears ever, historically, in life?
You watch that guy that just has a zero fear and say, yeah, we can get him, he tough, we're gonna have a hard time chewing on him, but we're gonna get him.
There's one man in entertainment who built a whole career off knowing things people wish he didn't know. A man who got shot 9 times and still walked away.
You've been shot how many times? 9 times.
Where were you shot?
Most of them in the legs. I got hit in my hand and I got hit in the face.
Pain-wise, how bad is it to get shot in the face?
Probably.
Is it a 10?
It's not really like as painful as having to visit the dentist repeatedly for root canal.
What is it still in your tongue?
Yeah, it's great for oral sex.
Did you ever find out who did it?
Yeah, I know who did it shortly after.
And they are now where?
The guy who actually shot me is dead.
Breathing. A man who was calling out Diddy long before the feds ever stepped in.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day?
I'm just not with all that flippy shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
A man who turned trolling into a science and turned inside information into one of the most dangerous weapons in hip hop. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson does not speak for no reason. He does not post for no reason. He does not comment just to comment. Every word, every emoji, every Instagram caption, every deleted post, every interview answer, all of it is planned. All of it means something. And when 50 Cent decides to really speak on somebody, not just clown them, not just joke around, not just drop a meme, people better lock in. Because history keeps showing us the same thing over and over again. When 50 talks, the truth usually pulls up right behind him. And right now, 50 Cent is talking about Pooh Shiesty, not playing, not trolling, not chasing clicks. He's talking in interviews, on podcasts, and even in private conversations that allegedly leaked. And what he's saying about the young Memphis rapper has the whole industry looking sideways, because 50 is not just calling Shiesty reckless.
Well, the most ruthless people that you run into are going to be people that are just focused and not necessarily taking your life into consideration while they're taking theirs. So it's like the district attorney's office that she wants the conviction so she can move up. Her career can be good. She'll give you 100 years. And you go, why so much? Like, why you had to do that? And it was like, what? You did it. In her mind, it's her doing her job and her moving up to the next level, and she'll just knock you over. You just become collateral damage. You know, and there's more ruthless people in the business world than in the street.
Pooh Shiesty is the most ungrateful motherfucker I've ever seen in the rap game, bro. And there's a lot of niggas like that, bro. But that nigga Pooh Shiesty, bro, you heard Gucci's line, bro? I put the money in your commissary, bro. Nobody from Shiesty's side ever did that shit for him, bro. Shiesty, if it wasn't for Gucci, bro, he'd still be a street nigga, bro. He'd still be out there hitting little licks. He's a petty car thief, nigga. Nigga would be a petty car thief if it wasn't for fucking Gucci. Come on, bro. It's ungrateful as fuck, bro. It's ungrateful as hell. Yeah, I think.
He's not calling him reckless. He's not calling him stupid. Nah. He's using a word that hits way deeper than that. He's calling him dangerous. Not just in a surface way, but genuinely, structurally, fundamentally dangerous. The type of dangerous that doesn't fade with age, money, or fame. The kind of energy the system itself struggles to control. And when a man who survived 9 bullets looks at somebody and says they're dangerous, you don't debate it. You don't question it. You pay attention. This all started during what looked like a normal interview on The Breakfast Club. Just another promo run, nothing special on the surface. Sitting there with DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God, and Jess Hilarious. The usual setup, the usual energy. They were running through the typical questions. How's the show doing? What's next for G-Unit in film and TV? Are you and Diddy ever gonna end that back and forth? Regular industry talk. 50 was chilling, laughing, moving how he always moves, until Charlemagne casually threw it out there, almost like it didn't even matter. He said, "What do you make of this whole Pooh Shiesty situation, the escape, the footage, all of it?" And that's when everything shifted. Not loud, not dramatic, but if you really know 50, you caught it instantly. The smile didn't turn into anger. It disappeared into something colder, neutral. And that's when you knew this was different. His eyes went flat. He leaned back just a little, then paused. Not a quick pause either, a full 3 seconds. And if you know 50 Cent, you know that kind of pause means everything. That means he's picking his words carefully, weighing every sentence before it lands. And when he finally spoke, it hit different. Not loud, not emotional, just cold and direct. Paraphrasing it down, the core message was this: people don't really understand what that kid is. They see the music, the age, the braids, the tattoos, and they think they figured him out. But they haven't. And he basically said what people are looking at is something the industry has never really dealt with before, and they're not ready for it. Charlemagne the God leaned in like, what do you mean by that? And that's when 50 went even deeper. He said, I've been around dangerous people my whole life. I grew up around it. I am a dangerous person. But then he drew a line, a real line. He explained there's a difference between someone who becomes dangerous because of their environment and someone who is just built that way from the start. Most people get shaped by their environment, but some people shape the environment. And then he dropped it. That kid shapes the environment. The room went silent, and just like that, 50 moved on like he didn't just shake everything up. Like he didn't just say one of the coldest, most chilling things anyone has said about Pooh Shiesty since this whole situation even started. To really understand why 50 Cent speaking like this matters, you gotta understand how he moves and who he's connected to, because this isn't random talk. This comes from years of watching, learning, and surviving that same world. Now here's where it gets deeper. Gucci Mane and 50 go way back. Not best friends, not super close, and yeah, they've had their little tension moments. But there's always been mutual respect. Two men who came from the streets, made it out, and built real empires from nothing. That kind of connection hits different. 50 has spoken on Gucci plenty of times, and not in a casual way. He's given him respect that he doesn't hand out easily. He's talked about Gucci's business mind, his resilience, and how he went to prison, came back, and built something even bigger. That's something 50 relates to heavy because he did the same thing. Because of that respect, 50 been watching 1017 records closely. He's seen artists come and go, watched the label grow, and peeped the pressure between Gucci and his artists from the eyes of someone who's been a label boss himself. And 50 even said in past interviews he noticed Shiesty early, not just because of the music, even though he admitted it was solid, but for something else deeper. He didn't notice Pooh Shiesty just because of the music. It was something deeper, something you can't really explain easy. 50 Cent once described it like this: the thing behind the eyes, that quiet presence, that stillness, that constant awareness, like somebody always locked in, always ready. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's there, a certain frequency that most people don't even tap into. 50 recognized it instantly because he has it too, and not just him. The people he grew up around in Southside Jamaica, Queens had it. The ones who didn't make it out, they had that same look. And he made it clear, it's not about anger, it's not about being aggressive, it's about capacity, the ability to take things all the way there without hesitation if it comes to that. 50 said when he saw that in Shiesty, he already knew how this story might play out, way before any headlines, way before any drama. Not because Shiesty is a bad person, but because people with that kind of capacity mixed with that environment and pressure, they rarely get smooth endings. The system just isn't built for that. Then, in another podcast interview that flew under the radar, 50 went even deeper. The host tried to compare Shiesty to other street rappers, asked where he ranks in terms of being real, and 50 shut that down quick. He said, "Don't compare him to rappers. That's your first mistake. Comparing him to other rappers already shows you're looking at it wrong, because that means you think he's acting, and he's not acting at all. The music, yeah, that's the performance, but everything outside of that, that's real." And when 50 Cent says real, he's not talking about image or tough talk. He's talking about something with no ceiling, something that doesn't have a built-in limit. The host looked confused and asked what he meant by no ceiling, and 50 broke it down in a way that made the whole room uncomfortable. He said most people, even in the streets, even people who've done serious things, still have a line, a boundary, a point where they stop and say, nah, this too far. That line is different for everybody. For some it's family, for others it's women, for others it's protecting younger people, but everybody has something that makes them pause. Then he stopped and the tone shifted again. He said, "I've met 3 people in my life who didn't have that line. 3 people with no internal brakes, no switch that says stop, just full speed, no control. And then he added something heavy. 2 of those 3 are gone. The 3rd one is locked up. The host leaned in and asked if Pooh Shiesty was one of them. 50 gave that cold smile, the one that never reaches his eyes, and said, "I said what I said, you do the math." He never said the name directly, but he didn't need to. The message was loud enough to shake the whole culture. Because 50 Cent is not some blog page sitting back guessing from a couch. This is a man who came up in one of the most dangerous parts of New York City. A man who survived multiple attempts on his life. A man who has looked real killers in the eyes and didn't flinch. And that same man is now speaking in a way that clearly shows Pooh Shiesty made him uneasy. Not directly saying, "I'm scared," but everything around his words is pointing in that direction. Now here's where it gets even deeper. According to people close to 50's camp, that The Breakfast Club interview and that podcast appearance weren't random at all. They were just the public version of conversations he had already been having behind the scenes for weeks.
One night, me and a couple of my boys decided to go to Bentley's, an upscale hip-hop spot in Manhattan. We pulled up in my 400 SE Benz. Not many people had one. As I cruised past the club, out of nowhere, someone ran up on my car and slapped the hood. And my displeasure must have shown on my face. The guy quickly apologized. "I thought you was my man Kenny. He got the same whip." Once my alarm subsided, I took a good look at who was talking to me. It was Jam Master Jay from Run DMC, one of my heroes. I immediately pulled the car over, jumped out, and gave Jay a pound. I told him I was from South Jamaica and had always followed his career. He laughed and apologized again for running up on me, explaining he thought I was NBA star Kenny Anderson, another Queens native. I asked Jay if he was about to go into Bentley's. "No doubt, I'm about to run up in this spot and see what's up," he said. I decided to decisively seize the moment. "Yo, we coming with you," I told him. Jay looked at me and then said, "That's what's up, let's go." Just like that, we were past the bouncers and inside Bentley's. We would never have gotten in without him. He literally walked me into the music business. That night, Jay and I formed a friendship, which eventually led to me signing with JMJ Records.
And the biggest one, allegedly, with Gucci Mane himself. Now, neither 50 nor Gucci has confirmed that call publicly.
Did Jam Master Jay really work with 50 to kind of help him structure his raps and everything?
Jam Master Jay taught 50
structure.
Structure.
Okay, were you there when that was happening?
And you got to think, no, I used to go to the studio. I went to the studio a couple of times, but I was selling drugs and I was busy. And Fifth, at that time, he had a Benz. So that's what really caught on to, the art of seduction. If a motherfucker already got money already, listen, a motherfucker only do favors for you when you don't need a favor. When I'm fucked up and I need a favor, motherfuckers ain't gonna give me no favor. But when I don't need a favor, a motherfucker's gonna do a favor for me. So Fifth already had money. He had a Mercedes-Benz, 17, 16. He had a 4Runner, he had a Mercedes-Benz. He had cars already. He was doing everything a rapper do, had chains, had all that already. Went around with thousands. So Jay fucked with him because he seen him at the club in a big ass Benz. Know what I'm saying? And rest in peace to Jay, man.
But multiple sources connected to both sides have described the same situation, and the details line up enough that you can start putting the pieces together. The call reportedly happened after footage aired on CNN, the airport scene, the SUV audio, the moment everything started looking different. That's when 50 reached out directly. No middleman, no managers, no extra layers. Because he understood something the rest of the industry was slow to realize. This wasn't just Gucci's situation anymore. This had turned into something bigger, something the whole industry had to pay attention to. At this point, the situation had gone way past anything normal. A federal inmate escaping custody, international movement, private security involvement, shell companies, sealed legal moves. This wasn't just industry drama anymore. This was something way bigger than a label issue. The original problem, Pooh Shiesty claiming unpaid royalties, almost didn't even matter anymore. What really mattered was this. You had someone with no clear limits, moving with resources, pressure, and nothing left tying him down. And that's when 50 Cent allegedly told Gucci Mane something that flipped the whole perspective. He said, "You thinking he coming back for money? He's not. He's coming back to make you feel what he felt, powerless." That right there changed everything, because money problems, those can be handled. You can cut a check, fix a contract, smooth things over. That's business. But when someone's goal is psychological, when they want you to feel something to break you mentally, you can't negotiate that. That's not business anymore. That's something way deeper and way more unpredictable, and that's why 50 has been so vocal about this whole situation. He's been hinting at a parallel most people in hip-hop media missed completely, but if you really pay attention, it all connects back to his own past. Before the fame, before Get Rich or Die Trying, before the big deals and the TV empire, 50 was in a situation that wasn't too far off from what's playing out between Shiesty and Gucci right now. Back in the day, 50 Cent was signed to Columbia Records through a deal with Jam Master Jay, and at first, everything looked solid, but it didn't stay that way. The relationship started going left, business issues popped up, money conversations got messy, and people started feeling like they weren't being paid right. And once that tension left the boardroom, it spilled straight into the streets. What followed turned into one of the most intense and dangerous periods in New York hip-hop history. 50 doesn't speak on that time too often, but when he does, you can hear it in his tone. This is someone who really understands how fast business problems in hip-hop can turn into real-life danger, because he's lived both sides of it. He's been the artist who felt played, and the boss with artists under him feeling the same way. And when he looks at the Pooh Shiesty situation now, he sees a pattern he already knows too well. A pattern that, from his experience, only ends a few ways: prison, losing everything, or one side completely crushing the other. In one interview that barely got attention, 50 admitted something serious. I see myself in parts of this. I see my old self in Shiesty. The hunger, the anger, that mindset where you ready to burn everything down if you feel disrespected. And I see my current self in Gucci Mane, the businessman who got too much to lose. The difference, I grew out of being that first guy. I'm not sure Shiesty can. That line hit different. And coming from 50 Cent, that's not disrespect. That's a diagnosis. This is a man who really made that shift from the streets to becoming a full mogul. So when he says he's not sure Pooh Shiesty can make that same transition, people better pay attention. Because what 50 is really saying is deeper than it sounds. He's not questioning Shiesty's intelligence. He's saying that thing inside him, the same thing that makes him dangerous, might be too deeply wired, too locked in to just be changed by money, success, or even time. That's a heavy statement. And then we got to the moment that broke the internet, because with 50, it always circles back to social media. 3 days after that, the Breakfast Club interview, he jumped on Instagram and dropped something that had everybody talking. It was a split image. On the left side, a young 50 Cent, early career, hungry look, eyes locked in with that cold, emotionless stare people recognize instantly. And on the right side, this is where things got wild. A real wolf. Not some cartoon, not something cute. A real wolf caught mid-stalk, low to the ground, focused, eyes locked forward like it's already made its decision. Every muscle tense, coiled up. The kind of image where you can feel the danger just by looking at it. And the caption, just 2 words, same energy. That's it. The post stayed up for exactly 19 minutes, then gone. Long enough for the whole internet to grab it, short enough for 50 Cent to keep it slick and deny everything. Classic move. But the message? Oh, it was loud. He wasn't comparing Pooh Shiesty to a wolf as an insult. Nah, this was a warning. Because a wolf doesn't move off anger. It doesn't act emotional. A wolf moves because that's what it's built to do. That's its nature. You can cage a wolf. Still a wolf. You can feed it every day. Still a wolf. The environment doesn't change what it is. And that's what 50 was telling everybody watching. This isn't just some rapper who got caught up, not just a young man making bad choices. This is someone operating off instinct, moving how he's wired to move. Now, whether people agree with that or not, that's a whole different conversation. But when it comes from 50, someone who's been face to face with real predators his whole life, it hits different. It carries weight that bloggers and commentators just can't match. And here's the bigger play. 50 hasn't just been talking about Shiesty as one person. He's been using this situation as a message to the entire music industry. And that message, it's a warning nobody should ignore. You created this. That's basically what 50 Cent has been saying again and again across multiple interviews lately. He's been pushing one message heavy. The industry signs young men from rough environments, makes money off their pain, markets their past, pushes their image, and then acts shocked when that same energy shows up in real life. 50 broke it down on a recent podcast. You can't sign somebody because they dangerous, promote them because they dangerous, build their whole brand around being dangerous, and then act surprised when that same energy turns on you. That's not a surprise, that's a consequence. And that statement right there hits hard because the whole image around Pooh Shiesty was built on being real. From the name, to the music, to the visuals, to social media, everything pointed to authenticity. 1017 Records leaned into it heavy. The blogs pushed it. The streaming platforms boosted it. Everybody ate off the idea that Shiesty was the real deal. But now that things escalated, now that the situation looks serious, now that the same realness feels unpredictable,
the docu-series, Sean Combs' The Reckoning, #1 on Netflix, ahead of Stranger Things. I mean, it is more successful than I imagined people even thought it would be. What's your response to how well it's doing?
But they did characterize it as a hit piece in the very beginning, is because they didn't get a chance to watch it, when they were saying that. And then after they see it, you see everyone's changed their mind, and it becomes the #1 dog.
Those same people don't look as comfortable. Because when authenticity stops being entertainment and starts feeling real, the energy changes quick. And what used to be promoted suddenly becomes something people don't know how to handle anymore. 50 Cent sees the hypocrisy clear as day, and he's not letting anybody slide past it. He said it straight up. The industry doesn't actually want real. They want the illusion of real. They want somebody who looks dangerous in a music video, but sits calm and controlled in a meeting like nothing ever happened. They want the image without the consequences. And the second those consequences show up, the second things get too real, now they want to call the police. The same system they speak against in songs now suddenly becomes their protection. And that message isn't just about Pooh Shiesty, it's bigger than that. It's about every label that signs street artists, makes money off their stories, builds entire campaigns around their past, then turns their back when things get uncomfortable. It's a whole system that profits off trauma, then punishes the same people when that trauma shows itself in real life. And 50 is in a rare position to speak on it because he's lived both sides. This isn't theory for him. This is experience. This is scars. But here's the part that really makes people uneasy. There's something he's not saying. And honestly, that silence might be louder than everything else he's already said, because in every interview, every podcast, every conversation around this situation, 50 keeps hinting that he knows more than he's putting out publicly.
You think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Not all. Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as hip-hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
What's your intent with the series, with the film?
I mean, I think the intention is to give a more full-bodied experience to what happened, from the people that agreed to sit down and to participate. And I feel like the film asks a lot of questions, maybe more questions are asked than answers given. And I think that it was important to both of us to preserve the culture of hip hop, because I think all too often when projects like this are made, our culture is diminished. This is a story that I think a lot of people want to kind of rain down on the culture of hip hop as a whole, and they forget that these are the actions and the allegations of one man. Sean Combs has a lot of things that he's going to continue to have to work out, but he also contributed to the culture, and that was also important. So I hope that the takeaway is that sometimes things are, it's more than meets the eye. And there's a lot of layers, there's a lot of nuance to stories. And I feel like we tried to put all those layers in as much as we could.
And that right there, that's what really got people watching closely. Not in some childish, I know something you don't way. Not like he's bragging or trying to look important. It's more careful than that, more controlled. Like the information is sensitive enough that saying it out loud could create real consequences. On The Breakfast Club, when Charlemagne the God pushed him for more details, 50 kept it measured. He basically said, there are things about this situation that aren't mine to say, not yet. The timing isn't right. And when another podcast host asked if he knew where Pooh Shiesty was, 50 didn't say no. He said, I know things that would make this conversation very different, but I also know saying those things right now would put people in positions they don't want to be in, including me. Including me. That's the part that hit different. 50 Cent is a man who survived 9 shots, beefed publicly with some of the biggest names in entertainment, and laughed off threats most people would take seriously. So when even he starts moving careful, that tells you the stakes are serious. Now the theories are all over the place. Some people think 50 knows Shiesty's location. They believe his network stretches so far through different cities, countries, and industry circles that somebody already told him where Shiesty might be. But if that's true, he's not saying it out loud, because putting that on record could drag him into a federal situation, and 50 is way too smart to step into that. Others think 50 Cent knows something even bigger. There's a theory going around that he has info on who actually funded everything behind the scenes. The shell companies, the private contractors, the charter jet, all of it possibly traces back to someone powerful. And if that's true, then yeah, even 50 moving careful starts to make sense. Then there's another angle people can't stop talking about. What if he doesn't just know what already happened? What if he knows what's about to happen next? That's the one that really got people thinking. Because if the next phase of this situation involves bigger players, higher stakes, and moves the public hasn't even imagined yet, then 50 staying strategic isn't random at all. He's saying just enough to stay in the conversation, but not enough to put himself in danger. That's classic 50. Always part of the story, never the one getting caught in the middle of it. But now we gotta address something people don't like to say out loud. There might be another reason he's speaking up so much about Pooh Shiesty, and it might not just be about concern for the culture, it might be about content. Because right now, 50 Cent is one of the biggest names in true crime style entertainment. His company, G-Unit Film and Television, has been dropping documentaries on major industry stories, from hip-hop history to high-profile controversies. And when situations like this unfold, that kind of content practically builds itself. The man doesn't just watch stories, he turns them into business. And this whole Pooh Shiesty situation, this might be one of the biggest stories hip-hop has seen in a long time. Think about how it escalated. It started as a label issue, then turned into direct conflict. That conflict turned into serious allegations, and then everything went to another level with legal trouble and a full-blown federal case. Now you've got headlines, major media coverage, leaked footage being discussed, and a situation that pulled in some of the biggest names in rap. If you're 50 Cent, not just an artist, but a producer with a history of turning real-life drama into high-level content, this isn't just news. This is a gold mine. This is a full series waiting to happen. This is the kind of story that could turn into a multi-part documentary and keep people locked in from start to finish. And 50 knows it. Every interview he's doing right now, it's not random. He's positioning himself as someone who understands the situation deeply, while also building curiosity around it at the same time. That's a rare mix, speaking truth while also moving strategically. And people can't even tell where one stops and the other starts. Now, here's what's really interesting. There are already talks happening behind the scenes. His company, G-Unit Film and Television, has reportedly been in early conversations with streaming platforms about a possible project around this situation. Nothing official yet, no deal confirmed, but the interest is real, and 50 is setting the stage with every move he makes, So when 50 Cent says Pooh Shiesty is one of the most dangerous figures in hip-hop right now, what is that really? Is that genuine concern from someone who recognizes a pattern he's seen before? Or is it the opening line of something bigger, a story being set up before the world even realizes it? Honestly, knowing 50, it's probably both, because he's never separated doing the right thing from making money off it. He warned people about situations before, and then turned those same situations into major content. He tells the truth and finds a way to build from it, and it looks like he might be lining up to do the same thing here. Now, here's how he really left people thinking. Not in a big interview, not on The Breakfast Club, but on Instagram Live late at night. No big audience, barely a couple thousand people watching. Just one of those raw moments where he speaks because he wants to. Someone in the comments asked him straight up, "Do you think they'll catch Shiesty?" 50 read it, paused, nodded slowly, and said, "They'll catch him. They always do." But then he added something that hit even harder. The question isn't if they catch him, it's what condition he's in when they do. And that right there, that's the part people can't shake, because he's basically saying someone moving like that isn't built to just stop and give up, and that kind of ending is never simple. I've known men like that my whole life. That's how 50 Cent put it, and the tone was different this time. He said they don't raise their hands and give up. They don't come quietly. They go out the same way they lived, fast, intense, and without hesitation. And when it happens, people around them get caught in it too. Then he paused, looked straight into the camera, and said something nobody expected. "I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong." That line hit heavy, because right after that, he reminded everyone, Pooh Shiesty is still somebody's son, still somebody's father. No matter what's happened, there's a family behind him that wants him home safe. There's a mother in Memphis who just wants her son back alive. I hope he makes it. And then he ended the live. No jokes, no trolling, no promo, nothing. Just a man who's been through everything, speaking on a situation that doesn't look like it ends easy. And that rare moment right there, that's what really says everything. Because 50 doesn't usually speak like that. He doesn't show emotion on camera like that. He doesn't express concern for people he barely knows unless he truly believes things could go bad. Unless he's seen this exact story play out before. In his neighborhood, in his past, in the eyes of people who lived too fast, pushed too far, and burned out before they ever got the chance to slow down. Unless he knows, with that level of certainty that only comes from living it, that the story of Pooh Shiesty might be heading somewhere nobody wants to see. And right now, all people can really do is watch and hope that 50 Cent is wrong, even though, let's be real, he usually isn't. Time after time, people doubted him. When he spoke on the industry, when he spoke on power moves behind the scenes, when he called out situations early, people laughed. And then later, it started making sense. Now he's saying something even heavier, not calling Shiesty the most talented, not the most successful, but the most dangerous. A man without a clear line. Someone who doesn't operate with the same limits most people do. And that kind of energy, it's unpredictable. Whether this situation turns into a major documentary, something that shakes the industry, or just fades out over time, we don't know yet. But one thing is clear, when 50 talks like this, people pay attention. Now the real question isn't how dangerous is he? That part has already been answered. The real question is, what happens when someone with nothing left to lose decides they're not stepping back? Because that kind of mindset, that's where things get serious. Now I need y'all in the comments. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. Was 50 speaking facts or taking it too far? Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that hype button to push the video out.